Oh, well, hello there. I can be heard, and yet I cannot be seen. What manner of mystery doth portray us today? Who amongst you has what it takes to abide the invisible Hardleg? Behold! For I have always been here, hiding, watching, coming for you in the darkness, and I arrive now to ask you a simple question. You having a good time? Are you having a fun time? Because we are hopefully about to have a good, fun time. How y'all doing today? Did you sleep well? I slept. I slept, and I slept a lot. That's probably a good thing. I don't know. Today's weather, for those on YouTube, we had Runaway by Del Shannon, and It's All Been Done by Bare Naked Ladies, and Beck Plus Call by July Talk. These songs have nothing to do with one another. I just thought they would be cool to play. We haven't played them in a while. I just made a nice dinner of homemade chicken strips. I misread that at first, and I thought you made homeless chicken strips. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it sounds good or not. But it sounds like something. What would it be if you cooked something and made it homeless? Would that be chicken strips without any breading? I don't know. Hello, Leg in chat. I'm here. We got a new duel pass. Let's go to the shop. The new duel pass has turtle. He's spinning. You know, part of me is like, well, there we go. We've decided what we want to do. How could I not play Gem Knights now that we have this? But also, how could we not play Speedroids now that they put a Beyblade into the game? Now I really can let it rip. Yep, we'll get the dual pass. Boom shakalaka 615. Thank you for the prime hype. For getting Glad Beasts to Masters. I'll definitely be watching. Hey, I appreciate it. Chicken strips hold the chicken. A hype train is incoming. What, did someone else sub? It's weird that I see that first. A train made entirely of hype? For one sub? That seems a little weird. Isn't the point of a hype train that it's supposed to be a bunch of subs? I don't know. So anyway, for those of you joining today who didn't see the announcement, something unusual has happened. Let me see if I can find the picture. There we go. So, we did the count for this month's ladder climb, as always. If you're somehow unfamiliar, all the $10 and higher patrons on my Patreon who support the channel, since they're the super fans, I let them pick what deck I do. Every month they get to suggest one deck, then they get to make a thread where they can debate amongst each other to try to decide whose deck is best, and then they can vote to try to pick which one they would prefer. And this month, someone put Let Joe Pick as an option. And I think, they actually sent me a message. They're like, I hope this wasn't out of pocket or anything. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Because I have a thing where, especially now, I'm much less stringent about it. You know, you paid the $10 to get on here. Whatever you want to put on the vote, you go for it. Because, I see things like Battery Man and Sky Striker. Pardon me. And I'm like, those cannot win. And even if they did win, it would be a bad episode. But you know what? If you want to waste your vote doing something people won't vote for, that's fine. And if people do vote for it, I wouldn't be looking forward to the Battery Man episode, but I'll do it. And so I let them put the Let Joe pick, thinking, like, why would people vote for that? If they wanted me to pick, why would they join the $10 patron to get the vote? You're basically just giving up your vote and saying, I don't care, actually. Just do whatever. And that has won by, like, a huge margin. It has 15 votes. The thing in second place is Gem Knights with 10. Then Speedroids with 9, Regenesis with 7. So now it's up to me to decide. They're paying because they like your content and trust your judgment. See, I'd understand that for like the $1 to $5, like if you're a $1 or $2 patron, you're just paying because you like me. Literally the $1 Patreon has no reward except for the Discord. Granted, a lot of people do join just to get on the Discord, but I assume they want to be on my Discord because they like me and my content. But it's like, if you're going to spend the money to go on the $10 Discord, I assume it's because you want to vote. But no, some people just really like me, I suppose. What if you pick one of the top 5? Well, basically, at the beginning of this, before the vote even went up, we were looking at the new cards, and I did a little thing of like, here's what I would be interested in playing. And so I'm just going to look at all of those. If you're going to give it to me, I will, It's one of those, I was going to say let's look at the top 5. The thing is, the number 2 deck is Speedroid. And we looked at Speedroid last month. Last month it was, I think, tied between Speedroid and Gladiator Beast, and I was trying to decide which one would be better. And we went with Glad Beast because all Speedroid does is make Baronne de Fleur and the various Crystal Wings. Like, it's a combo deck that is locked into win, so it doesn't have a whole lot of different options. And it's a combo deck in a format where going, like, your main thing of whether or not you're good is can you go second into Malice or Ryziel. Those are the decks to beat. Malice especially is very difficult. And to the point where, like, Malice, like, that's the thing, right? Is that, like, Malice, like, no amount of hand traps stops them. Ryziel, very few. The thing is, there's a lot of traps that stop Ryziel, but they do nothing to, like, most of the other decks, especially Malice. And so I just felt like, Speedroids, as much as I like, don't get me wrong, I like Speedroids. Speedroids are very fun. And we haven't played, like, a combo synchro deck in a while. I do like playing those. I just think, like, this format is terrible for it. And I think especially right now, what the show needs, the episodes that are performing better are the goofier decks. The ones where people aren't sure if they can compete, where people don't know how they're going to compete. And with Speedroids, it just seems, or not, not necessarily compete, but the ones where there's a lot of different build options. There's a lot you could do with Mimighoul, there's a lot you can do with Gladiator Beast, there's not a lot you can do with Speedroids. Floodgate Big Guy Turbo. Yeah, we haven't played a deck like that in a while. We have played like that before. The, the Umi control deck was essentially Floodgate Big Guy Turbo. Lancia and Chaos Hunter work still. Somewhat. A little bit. But yeah, the point was you don't have anything that can beat, you can't beat them with hand traps. You have to be able to beat them with going second cards. And so, like, what can do that? Pretty much just Gem Knights. I think Gem Knights is the only thing on here. Gem Knights is also the deck that I was really curious about. But I want to see what Magistus can do. I'm curious as to how Magistus can do. I'm curious as to what Regenesis builds can do. That's a deck that I think not a lot of people know about. And, what was the other one? Oh yeah, someone on the Discord was like, oh, I assume if we let Joe pick, he'll pick nothing on the list. He'll just go for Paleo again. And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, that wasn't even on my radar. Like, the idea of picking something that wasn't even on the list, like, didn't occur to me. And doing Paleo again, even though it's my favorite deck, didn't occur to me because it hasn't gotten any new substantial support. But at the same time, it has gotten some support. I'm curious what a Paleo deck looks like. Paleo isn't very good, right? I don't know, it got to Master 1 last year. I'm kind of curious if it could do it again. And what's it called? The thing about Malice is one of the things that does at least, like, you know, beating Malice on the face of it, a little difficult. Having Malice build their board and then hitting them with, evenly matched or Daruma Karma Cannon could be pretty brutal. It probably won't be good enough, but I'm curious enough to pick. Detonator makes it difficult for Paleo to do anything. Oh, good point. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be trying to decide what deck to play. Which means we need to open up a different folder. One that doesn't get brought out much. I really should get the new Yu-Gi-Oh thing that, like, looks like Master Duel. I'm unsure what that's called. White Binder kind of solos Paleo. MD Pro 3, is that what it's called? I assume you have to get that from a Discord server. Is it true what you said on your Genesis video that YouTube is really making you comment for a video viewed account now? Did I say that in the Genesis video? I thought I said that in the, whatchamacallit? The challenge video. No, that was what we thought, that maybe it was that. We still don't know exactly, but we think it has to do with ad block. We think that people who have ad block, it doesn't count as a view. But a lot of people have been like, oh, you've been talking about how views are down for the ladder climb. Could it be this new thing that YouTube has changed? And unfortunately, no. As much as I would like to blame it just on YouTube, the fact is my the videos started doing poorly like almost a year ago. Anyway, let's get to... Where's it at? No, we're not capturing Silk Song today. Behold, YGO Omega. We're going to call this October 2025. And we're going to put Gem Knight. Oh, I need to put... There needs to be a hyphen there. We got Gem Knight. I should probably put a main deck monster. Oh, there's a new Regenesis card coming. Lord and Overlord. How do they make the Lord more powerful? Magistus Spoon. He's over the Lord. I mean, what can I say? What would this be? I think Azamina is the other one. And Paleo. So these are the 5 decks I'm going to be looking at today. And if you're unfamiliar with these kind of streams, because we often do this when we're trying to build a new deck for next month, what I'm going to be doing to try to learn the deck is watching a bunch of other YouTube videos on deck profiles, seeing like what the combos look like, seeing what the end board looks like, if there's any build variety or whatever. And as a result, if you're watching this on YouTube, all of that's getting cut out because I don't like to re-upload myself watching other people's videos with minimal commentary. Like, yeah, I'll occasionally pause it, I'll comment, and maybe some of that will be included or whatever. But I just don't, it doesn't feel right to do it, especially since these videos are monetized. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll be back. If you're watching on Twitch, it's gonna be chill react stream, essentially. It might be worth picking an archetype that can play around them. Again, if you aren't familiar, Gem Knights are probably like the 3rd strongest deck. In fact, here, let's try real quick. Master Duel Meta Tier List. They're not the authority. But yeah, like Tier 1, Malice and Ryziel. Tier 3, Gem Knights, Mermaid Atlantean, Blue Eyes. And at least, I don't know where the power rating, 5, 4, 3. Ryziel's a 21, Malice is a 32. But yeah, like, if these are the top 5 decks, I have no idea if the power is relevant. But yeah, if I had to say a top 5 decks, it's probably these. Community tournaments. Like, Gem Knight is a blind second deck that can play into Malice. How do you get tier 3 without a tier 2? I don't know. This is probably the time to play Gem Knights. Like, if I want something that's going to be, that can actually succeed, I don't know, and that's the thing, is like, I came into this, I wanted to play Gem Knights, because 1, we haven't played a Go second deck in a while, I like that playstyle, and 2, as I've said before, Gem Knights is like one of the first archetypes I built. I had a Gem Knight deck in paper back in like early Ixie format. Like, they weren't good, but I have a soft spot for them. They're a very nostalgic deck for me. And, you know, even though I don't really care much about art, if there is a kind of like monster that I feel a little bit of kinship toward, not kinship, I don't know why my throat is so sore suddenly. If there's a kind of aesthetic I can be said to like in Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's like monsters that are based off of gems or rocks. Like, I like Crystons and I like Gem Knights. They look cool to me. I like how they're all like angular. I like the sharp, straight lines. Machine decks to some degree. They're minerals. I was a rock man in another life. Vylons, yeah, Vylons are kind of cool. And so, you know, this was like, as far as like personal reasons, emotional reasons, I like Gem Knights. But I was like, I'm not so sure if they would like do very well. But the way that I'm hearing people talk about it in the chat, like right now, where everyone's like, I don't think Gem Knights can succeed. I don't think Gem Knights are good. That might actually make it a very good ladder climb. Because if my average viewer does not know that Gem Knight is a top 3 deck, then they might tune in thinking I'm just playing jank and then be pleasantly surprised. And that seems to be, again, we spent all of last year trying to play rogue or competitive. Everything was in like the top 10 decks, and those videos didn't do very well. I'm not sure if that's the reason why, but at least for the rest of this year and go into 2026, I really want to lean more into doing goofy shit. You know, more like the Mimighoul and the Nemluria deck, and less like the Blue Eyes and the, whatchamacallit, the Melodious deck. I don't know if Melodious, I don't know why Melodious didn't do very well. Do Ghost Tricks? Ghost Tricks, like, haven't gotten support in years. Gem Knights are... Well, that's the thing. Gem Knight... Like, if I'm going off of what's actually in the meta, then Gem Knights are too strong. But I think most people right now think of the meta as Malice and Ryziel. They don't know Gem Knights is a good deck, and that means this episode could perform really well. It could be the best of both worlds. It could be a deck that people don't know is rogue, that they go in thinking I'm going to be suffering, and it turns out to be really, really good. In the same way that, like, people tuned into Mimighoul thinking that that was absolute garbage, and it turned out to be surprisingly effective. I'd rather watch you play purposely bad decks, yeah. So, speaking of purposely bad decks, what does Regenesis do?
For the main...
Don't you think the general malaise surrounding Master Duel is what's suppressing enthusiasm? Possibly. Like I said, I've talked about it before. When I was like, my views are down, and unfortunately YouTube doesn't give you enough information. It's not just YouTube. As an entertainer in general, you know, if you're a musician and you release an album and it's like a #1 hit album and you're like, great. And then it's like, it doesn't matter if you release the exact same thing or you try to innovate, there's like a 50-60% chance that the audience doesn't like it. Got him. Sorry, there was a fly crawling on my desk. He's been buzzing around all day. And it's like, yeah, if your first video or if your first album was a #1 hit and your second didn't top the top 40, you're not gonna know why. You can guess about it, but that's just kind of how entertainment is. And so the fact is, it's like, why did my ladder climbs fall off? Is it because I haven't evolved with the times? I need to have better editing and stuff? Could be. Could be that people are just tired of me. Could be that people are tired of Yu-Gi-Oh! Could be that YouTube changed the algorithm. Could be that I wasn't keeping up with the thumbnail, like, meta. Hard Joe just banned Maxi in real life. You're welcome. Many artists have only one-hit wonders. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube views are down, but that's the thing. YouTube views are down, but they've only been down since August, and my views have been down all of 2025. There's been a malaise about Master Duel, but I feel like that's only really hit its stride during Malice format. Granted, there were a lot of people who have been sick of Snake Eyes for, like... They're like, that deck lasted way too long. But numbers-wise, you know, in 2024, Master Duel had like 25,000 concurrent players. And for most of 2025, it had like 22,000 concurrent players. So like, yeah, it was down, but there wasn't like a mass exodus. But the last 2 months... The player numbers in Master Duel have gone from like 22,000 to 13,000. So we've lost almost half of the player base over Malice. It's not my choice what deck I play. It's up to the patrons. Patrons give choice. Yeah. Well, fuck. Yeah, and so that's why it's my choice. So instead of just picking something like based on vibes, I want to actually talk it through and look at like the other options, So I'm trying to think like, not only do I like Gem Knights, but will the episode do well? Malice and Riot. Every deck's expensive. If you keep up with the gems, like nothing's expensive. The ban list after the DC Cup has to be a big one or Master Duel's in serious trouble. Yeah, and I was talking about this with my friend where I'm like, the thing is, there's three options for why the ban list is, or why Master Duel format is so god-awful right now, and none of them bode well. But there is one that's at least better than the others. So option number one, Konami is just stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to pilot a game. They are incompetent, and the only reason they succeed is because they glide off the popularity of their intellectual property. They have a hot IP that will do decently well no matter what they do, and as a result, they've gotten lazy and they just don't care. And then it'll just remain bad until they just happen to do something that maybe makes it better. Option number two, they are purposely making the format bad now so that they can justify next month or whatever being like, you know what? Malice, we're banning a whole bunch of it. And we're hitting Appaloosa, and we're hitting Barone, we're hitting Maxi, we're bringing things more in line with the TCG. And then you just see a huge flood of like Americans coming in, and they're like, and while that's happening, here's a whole bunch of new gem opportunities, here's a whole bunch of like aesthetic things, cosmetics that you can buy, and you only have 5 days to get them. You said the same thing twice. Yeah. So one is they're making it bad on accident because they're incompetent. The other one is they're making it bad on purpose in order to then do like a new Coke thing where, they make it bad so that they can fix it and then act like it's this big, huge, like celebratory thing. Everyone come back. We'll give you some free gems. We've changed everything, and see a huge surge. Option number three, which is the worst scenario, is they are already working on a new app. They have Master Duel 2, but the monetization is worse, or they have a Regenesis app. Instead of rolling it into Master Duel, they're just like taking all the code and all the work they did with Master Duel, rolling it into a new app, and they're making Master Duel bad on purpose and having all these limited time events to try to milk it for the last bit of money before they shut it down, erase everyone's card pools, and then start again with a new app that is much more harshly monetized. Now we have Hard Conspiracy Joe. Yeah, and I am saying could be any one of these three. Maybe there's another option. I don't know. I'm not saying for sure that's what's happening, or even like with any amount of certainty. But those seem like the three most likely scenarios, based on what I know companies to do. They're either incompetent, or they're trying to find some way. Like that's the thing. Everything that a company does is trying to make more money. So they're either trying to make more money, or they're stupid and bad at business. And they're not making money because they're failing. I will leave Yu-Gi-Oh! Altogether if they pick three. So unless, perhaps there's some way where it's like, yes, they purposely made a tier 1 format with one of the least fun, least interactive decks despite professional players and influencers all saying it's terrible, to watch the numbers go down. They did that on purpose, and somehow that makes them more money in a way other than what I've described. Option 4, the whales are carrying... Yeah. That kind of goes into... the first one. You know, I would say, like, if what they're doing is they don't care about the game competitively, they're not putting any time or effort into that because they realize they can put all their effort into cosmetics and whales will spend gems to buy every single one, that is a short-sighted business strategy. That will make them a lot of money in the short term, but they will lose player numbers. It won't be sustainable. All the whales will leave. I do want to feel like it's incompetence. A recent blog post for Genesis format shows there are clearly people who understand the game and players, and money is getting in the way for Master Duel. Yeah, that's the TCG. There are people at the TCG who understand game design. You can tell from like the decks that they've designed, and you can tell from like when they used to make things explaining the ban list. The problem is, you know, at the end of the day, Konami is not only a Japanese company, which Japanese companies in general usually aren't as forthcoming, but especially Konami, you know, Konami was never a company funded or founded by like artists or designers. It was always very corporate. It was always beholden to shareholders. They tolerated artists so that they could milk their money for stuff. You know, when I think of like, you know, the people who own I was just watching something about Drakengard. Yoko Taro, the very enigmatic game designer who made like Nier and Drakengard. It's like he's clearly someone who cares about making interesting art, and he has to have like a business side of it. But he's not like the guy who runs Konami. The guys who run Konami are like a bunch of 60-year-old businessmen who own a bunch of pachinko machines, and they're just like, we just want to make money. Do what you need to do, but we're going to give you as little as possible. They'd stop making AAA to focus more on gacha, yeah. Like Konami is uniquely greedy. They're not uniquely greedy, but they're uniquely detached. You know, obviously Wizards of the Coast is selling out hardcore. They're super monetizing everything. They've got people, especially at I forget who owns Wizard of the Coast now. Is it Mattel? You've got people at Mattel who are just like, this needs to be more profitable. Put out more sets. And you have designers who are like, we're trying to do stuff as best we can to appease the people at the top and the players. But at Konami, it feels like we don't have those people in the middle. We never hear from the designers or the artists. We don't know what's going on at the game. We just have the people at the top, and they aren't saying anything. Hasbro, sorry. Saturday morning mustache-burling villains. Ugh. Do you think they'll hit Malice and Master Duel? I sure hope they do. Apparently Japanese companies have a culture of unpaid overtime, which saves them a ton of money. Yeah. Japanese business culture, very toxic.
Combo. You'll just need Regenesis Archfiend, plus Nadir's Servant. This...
Okay. So chat, I'm curious real quick. Now that you've been here, assuming you have been here for this whole time, what deck would you like to see? Gem Knight, Regenesis, Magistus, Paleo. We're going to give you 5 whole minutes. You got a while to decide. Which one are you most interested in? There's a poll open. We close most of these tabs, because I think that's what's slowing down the computer. I have all these videos open. As Amina got shafted, yeah. What the heck is going on? Let me look at this real quick. Trying the old Control-Alt-Delete. It's just Firefox still? But why? I guess I'll end task on that and hopefully... Oh, OBS is chugging too for some reason. Weird. Very weird indeed. Looks like Gem Knight has 41% of the vote so far. Let's look at what chat is saying. I like the idea of Joe presenting a Magistus deck and strategically standing in front of him are all the Ryseal cards. Gem Knight needs Tearlament? I don't know what you mean by that. Azamina makes more sense with the new support. Yeah, we don't have Azamina. I also thought there were more cards than this. I was mostly just looking at this thing. Your opponent cannot target cards in their field, graveyard, or banishment, or this card with card effects. 4,000. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken. Gem Knight has go first and go second options, but mostly OTKs. Regenesis is big guy stun. Magistus is floodgates. Paleo is paleo. Jemmies don't need tears. Yeah, I don't know what you... Unless you missed the start of the stream. Yeah, Gem Knights do have at least 2 versions. 3 if you want to do Fiendsmith. The new Diabell Star. Vengeance. Curse of Diabell. Sanctification. Oh yeah, there it is. Poplar of the White Forest. It's a level 4. If this card is summoned, target 2 White Forest monsters in your graveyard. Place them face up in the spell trap zones as continuous spells. During your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. I see, I see. Popular. There's another popular. Oh, and they got a field spell. When this card is activated, add a White Forest from your deck to your hand. You cannot special summon dark monsters from the extra deck. first time each white forest would be destroyed by battle each turn. It is not. Target one white forest you control that's treated as a tuner this turn. You can only use each once per turn. Only activate one per turn. I see. Not summon dark synchros. Oh, they're all light. I didn't realize that. Yep, looks like Gem Knight's still winning. It's the White Forest. It locks you out of Azamina, so you don't want to start with it if possible. Yeah, Paleo's not different enough. What's the name of the one guy that I'm thinking of? The, like, level 2 pendulum? Huh, it doesn't seem to be here. Is it not an effect monster? I thought it was an effect monster and it was level 2. Volmina? No, it's not Volmina. It was there. It's a TCG exclusive. Fuck. What is Volmina? No, it's like a slime-looking thing. If a monster is special summoned by your trap effect, except during the damage step. Monster summoned by a trap effect, you can target one card on the field, return it to the hand. Then you can special summon this card. Okay, so when a Paleo summons itself, that is by a trap effect. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can place this monster in your pendulum zone, and if you do, return that opponent's monster to the hand. Yeah, Magicaloidal Soul. Yeah, this is in Master Duel, even though it's TCG. It's not a pend. I don't know why I thought it was a pend. I guess I got those two mixed up. If a monster is summoned by your trap effect, you can special summon this card from your... Okay, it has the same effect, so I guess that's why I got it confused. If a monster is summoned by your trap, you can special summon this from your hand or graveyard, but if you summon it from the graveyard, banish it when it leaves the field. During your opponent's battle phase, you can immediately Synchro or Ixie summon. And it's a tuner. So it opens up the thing for, like, you know, you go to battle phase, you activate Wabaku, you chain a Paleo. Because a Paleo is summoning a monster using a trap effect, this summons. Then it's still the battle phase, so you can use this level 2 and your level 2 Paleo to make, like, Herald of the Arclight and get a negate. Or you can make the Melfi and banish stuff. You can also make Zeus or Typhon. If you had if they had an Ixie and they battled, or if you had an Ixie and they attacked into it, then you can use this, because it just says immediately. Oh no, it's Ixie summon using this card. Never mind. So you can't immediately make Zeus. You can make Typhon though. So you can just make Typhon during their battle phase, and if they have any monsters that have like 3,000 or more attack, it's just done. Unchained with Bow, because it's kind of support. No, because I don't think Unchained... The thing with Unchained is that it's the Destroy archetype. Everything on it is, if destroy, then destroy, do destroy. And Ryziel can't be destroyed. There's always a Paleo, so you can't make Typhon. Why wouldn't you be able to make Typhon where there's a Paleo? Oh, because they have... It's only the monster with the most. I heard you could make Typhon with this. I guess in theory you can. It's not as exciting. Yeah, also, I mean, granted, I never played it at its prime when it got all the new support or whatever. But Unchained wasn't, like, great at the time, and that was 2 years ago, and since then, like, you know, full power Unchained was before Tearlament. It was before Snake Eyes and Fiendsmith. And it really feels like, you know, in terms of power creep. You know, again, they call it power creep because it used to slowly creep up. And then it felt like the set that released Tearlament that also had, like, Sprite and Vernisylph, like, everything, like, jumped up. And then the next set after that had, like, Kashtiras. And Kashtiras were like, you know how Cyber Dragon, like, any card that's a Cyber Dragon is good, and any card that's a Stratos is good, and any card that has, like, a removal effect is good. Well, one of our main monsters is a Stratos Cyber Dragon with removal that can search itself. Also, it has 2,500 attack. And that just kind of, like, set the bar. And then it's like, okay, well, now we're in this, like, new thing where it seems like, you know, the bar for going second cards are you have to have a 2,500 that can special summon itself and removes when it attacks. And the bar for any other kind of deck is, like, you need to be able to play during the opponent's turn. And it's weird because they released Rescue Ace, like, after that or around that time. And Rescue Ace had a bunch of, like, built-in hand trap style effects. And then they just stopped. Then they're like, actually, you know what? Fuck you. Here's the most, like, oppressive combo deck in a while in Snake Eye. Where it's like, the one card gets you into 12 cards, and you gotta play all hand traps. Here's Math Mech, which does almost the same thing. And suddenly that was like the new, everything had to have a one card starter. And they just got rid of the, like, playing during your opponent's turn thing. Like, they overrode that by making it so that, like, yeah, you can play during your opponent's turn, but it won't matter, because as long as your opponent has one card, they can make a board that has, like, 12 negates and it doesn't cost them anything. And then it's like, okay, I got used to that. Maybe we're going to creep up a little bit more. Because if nothing else, you know, Snake Eyes was, if you have 2 or 3 hand traps, you can usually stop it. And then they made Malice, which is like, hey, hand traps don't affect this. Even most of the lingering ones. There's exactly one that kind of shuts it down if they have a bad hand. And it's not good against other decks, so that's the advantage. But you can't droll it. You can't ash it. You can barely imperm it. You can use what's it called? Dominus Impulse. That's the new trap. I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, but also Malice gets to play that. So, yeah. To be fair, Lancia did shut them down before Ignister. But then Ignister. But yeah, all of this, long story short, as interesting as Genesis and Magistus and Paleo seems, I think Gem Knights is the best option. We did look at everything else, but there's just so much going for it. I mean, obviously it just won the poll here that we had asking you all. But it was also something I was interested in doing. It's also a legacy thing that'll get, hopefully people who haven't been watching the game will be like, oh, Gem Knights? I remember them. Let's check that out. It also came second in the actual, like, poll we did. So, like, if Joe Picks wasn't an option, Gem Knight would have won, and it would have won by a substantial margin. Let's look back at that real quick. Well, not a substantial margin. Speedroid is one behind it. But it was Gem Knight or Speedroid. I am curious, while you're here, chat, granted you haven't seen the Speedroid stuff before, but let's do one more little poll. Gem Knight or Speedroid? Which one would you prefer? Oh, I didn't even type them in. If you had to vote here. I am just playing Gem Knights. I'm just curious if Speedroids have a whole bunch of options. Or a whole bunch of fans, you know? Okay. So it is getting a little late. We still have about about an hour and a half left of the stream. I'm going to make dinner real quick. I've got some turkey in the fridge. I'm just going to heat that up with an air fryer. But let's put on some music while I do that. Should only take like 5-10 minutes at most, I imagine. Did you enjoy that, chat? Did you have a good time? A fun time? Yeah, Gem Knight's still winning. This video has so much lore, and I never wanted to hear a minute of it. I wonder how I can... 1 second. We're doing something a little weird today, chat. You're getting a little preview of Cooking with Hardleg, the show that I'll probably never make, but I could make it one of these days. Just you wait and see. Where's the... Oh, I guess I could do this. Okay. The power of boxes. And if you're wondering whether this is the thing I use to record when I'm recording the audiobook. Microphone goes in the back, sticks out of here. But right now, is cutting board. Yeah, so this is the loaf of bread that I bought. Vienna bread, it's called. Ooh, nice, thick. I like a good Italian loaf. And then you get a bread knife, which is like one of the more threatening looking knives, but you need something like this to cut into something that's like soft. Sliced bread. Oh, look at that, chat. Nice, big, thick slices. Delicioso. It also helps. I keep my bread, this bread, I keep it in the fridge. Obviously, you don't have to. But I find that, one, it stops it from going moldy as quickly. And two, when it's just like a little cold, then it's easier to cut without it squishing down. And it won't matter because by the time I get like hot turkey and cheddar and bacon and everything on there, like that'll heat it up and then I'll stick it in the microwave for like 15 seconds. Speaking of which, the thing just went off. Here you go. Watch the transcendental cha-cha-cha while I put stuff in. Alright, chat. I can at least give you the step-by-step since you started. You saw the bread slicing. And then I put the bread in the toaster. You can see I didn't toast it a whole lot. Just enough to make it slightly brown, make it firm up a little bit, you know, give it a nice contrast to the softer ingredients that's going to go on there. And you can see because of the kind of oblong shape, I just took one slice of cheddar, ripped it in half, and we've got kind of full coverage here. And then I've got 4 strips of bacon, Again, cooked earlier today and put in the fridge, which is just enough to make a whole bed's worth. I hear some people talk a lot about like the order of ingredients on a sandwich. I don't think it matters that much. I mean, I guess the ideal, right, would be to like put the bacon and then put the cheese on the bacon. And then I put the turkey on top of the cheese, so the cheese acts as a glue between the turkey and the bacon. But honestly, not that big a deal. But I guess we'll try it that way, just to see. I feel like I've experimented with every kind and it never made a substantial difference. I'm trying to arrange the bacon in like the optimal way too. It's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle, chat. An upside down burger eater. Yeah. Some people like the cheese on the top. Honestly, I'm going to flip this sandwich like over a couple times either way so the cheese will melt onto it. And it sounds like my turkey is gone. Too much. It's kind of crispy. There's definitely some parts. Still really good though. In general, I'm more someone who likes stuff well done. I would rather have something a little too overdone than a little too underdone. Underdone stuff just feels a little, like, soft. It's turkey bacon now. Maybe? Is that how they make turkey bacon? Need a different kind of cheese added onto this. If I had a different kind of cheese, maybe. I feel like cheddar's just the best cheese. Maybe mozzarella. I do have some Parmesan. I guess I should put some Parmesan on, or I could, but that's like dusty. But yeah, so overall, a pretty good, delicious looking sandwich, but the cheese isn't melted. That's why we're going to put it in the microwave for like 15 seconds. See if it makes much of a difference. Okay, we ended up going a little longer than 15 seconds. I ended up doing a whole minute, but like, look at that. The cheese is like melting down onto the plate. Now we got a delicious sandwich. Microwaves, in general, if you don't use them for that long, they tend to make everything more moist. Do you know why that is, chat? Get a little science lesson with Hardleg. That's because the microwave's radiation penetrates through most things without doing much to it, but it does heat up the water molecules inside of stuff. So when you microwave something, what you're kind of doing is like boiling it from the inside out. The water inside of everything gets excited and starts to steam up through it. Yeah, boiling it from the inside or steaming it from the inside. At least at first, if you use like a minute, maybe less than a minute or so. So that's why a good trick, if you want cookies or donuts that are soft, put them in the microwave for like 10, 15 seconds. That's just enough for the moisture to sort of rise through it without completely boiling out of it. And it'll just make everything nice and gooey. So our bread that was toasted is now soft and warm with just a hint of firmness, so that it holds everything together. Same thing, our bacon, no longer really super crispy, but that'll fit much better, I feel like, with the soft turkey. And of course, our cheese melted. Microwaving a Krispy Kreme for 5 seconds is magical. Yeah. Where's the beverage? Good idea. Whoa. Someone get the meme. Now, I have been abstaining from soda, trying to drink less of it. And I think today will be no exception. as nice as it would be to add like a little Dr. Pepper, just a little treat to go with it, I'm going to try to stay with just water. Soft and gooey, yeah. You get that, then we add in like a couple chips. I got some Parmesan goldfish. Oh, and 1 second. Can't forget dessert. I'm getting older, chat. I have to watch my diet at least a little bit. So for dessert, we get one fun-size Three Musketeer. 07 to Hardleg's toaster. I mean, it still works. It's a little roughed up, but I don't have to get a new one. Not yet. But yeah, that's simple cooking with Hardleg. And in terms of like, because I know a lot of people have trouble cooking at home, and this is something like, what did I need to do this? I guess I needed an oven, a microwave, and an air fryer. If you have all three of those, you're good. You don't need the microwave. The microwave does make it gooier, but you don't necessarily need it. You could also just put it in the air fryer for a brief time. And I guess, I mean, I cook bacon in the oven because I think it comes out better that way, but you can just, like, fry it. But all of this, it's like, I think the bacon was like $6. The bacon was $6, the turkey was $6, and the bread was, we'll just round up and say $6. So $18. But the thing is, I only used half the turkey. So it's $3 worth of turkey. And I only used a fourth of the bacon. So maybe like $2 worth of bacon. And I only used 2 slices of the bread. So that's the unfortunate thing, is like, I feel like if you do the math, it is so much cheaper to make stuff at home. And I didn't even take like that long to do it. It would have been shorter if I wasn't trying to show stuff off. But the thing is, it's hard to show that sometimes because it's like, yeah, I did pay $6 for bread, but that bread's going to be used in like 2 weeks worth of sandwiches and grilled cheese and stuff. I like pan frying my bacon. There's 3 problems with pan frying bacon. One, you gotta sit there and watch it. If you're someone who likes the process of cooking and you have the time to sit there and like make sure it doesn't burn and flip it over, like, yeah, that's fine. Or if you're doing other stuff and you can like fry the bacon while that's going on, frying bacon is fine. 2, it often doesn't come out even unless you also buy something that like presses it flat. They do have like weighted metal that you can use like on your stove, or maybe if you use like thin enough bacon, but I like thick bacon, and if you fry it, it often gets all crinkly. Yeah, you get a bacon press to press it, which can also be used to make like hamburgers and stuff, so it's, you know, that might be an investment. I've been thinking about getting one of those. And 3, and I think this is maybe the biggest one, is that you can only cook so much bacon in a frying pan. Usually it's like 4 or 5 slices. You can really coat it, but then you've really got to like move stuff around and watch it, and things are going to be finishing at different times and whatnot. What I like to do is get like a whole pack of thick bacon, and then you get a tray and you put tin foil on it, and you just cook it in the oven. You don't have to watch it. It takes like 20 minutes, but all you gotta do is like put it in for 10 minutes and then you can go do something. As long as you can hear the timer. Just go back and check in on it. And you cook it all at once. It's nice and even and like perfectly like evenly cooked all throughout. It's flat. And then after I make it, it's like, yeah, whatever I'm doing, like, for breakfast or whatever, I'll take, like, a couple strips to have with eggs. And then you put the rest in the freezer, and then you can just microwave it to put it on sandwiches for the rest of the week. You know, if I'm having any kind of, like, whether I'm making burger or turkey or just eating more eggs, you just microwave up, like, 2 or 3 strips of bacon and put it on there. The bacon pan comes out bow-legged. The racks are hella clean. That's why you don't use racks. You just use tin foil. All you need is like one thing of tin foil if you like bring the edges up so it contains all the bacon grease. And then you do have to like wait like a couple hours for the bacon grease to like solidify, but then you can just wrap up the tin foil into a ball and throw it away. Or if you really want to be thrifty, you can get like a mason jar, and while the grease is still hot, you pour the bacon grease in that, you put it in the fridge, and then instead of buying like cooking spray or Spam or whatever, or not Spam, Pam, or using butter, you can get bacon grease and you can grease up pans that way. And then everything you cook will taste a little bit like bacon. Drink the bacon grease. Do not. Do not do that. That will be bad for you. Okay. The most American beverage. It's just hard to be. It's hard to be satisfied by water, chat. I'm too used to like sugary drinks. I need a flavor. You know what? I've been a good boy. Fuck it. I'm having a little soda. A little sody pop. It's not much. It's just a little bit. Just a little bit as a treat. It's like half a can's worth. Okay.
For the main combo.
I wasn't looking up other videos. Why would I be doing that? What do you mean? Do you want to see Trishula TV's list? Sure.
The like-minded community, and maybe consider becoming a channel member.
Why did it start that? Oh. I went to type in Master Duel and didn't realize I still clicked on that window. Or I guess I need to gem hyphen. 3 gem turtle, of course. So it looks like everyone's playing 3 armadillo, 3 quartz, three Nephirim, just 2 of this guy, And that's it. Some people don't even play 3-gem Armadillo, apparently. We can experiment, yeah. In general, I think it's always better to have too much and we can decraft than not enough. 3 Brilliant Fusion. One Scatter Fusion. Everybody scatter. 3 of this. We do need to play 1 Gem Fusion. Ouch. The gem prices are truly outrageous. Okay, and then the extra deck. Where's Tourmaline? Do I not have a Tourmaline? Oh, it's at the top here. One of each of those. Prisma. Yeah. I don't think you need Holocore. Probably not. Again, I probably don't need 3 of each of these. I can bump them down to 2, but I would rather get all 3 and then take some out than to get 2 and have to go up later. Orange Herald, because this is a fairy, and that's a fairy. That's funny. Did we choose gems? We did. Real lightning. Interesting. Moha's not playing Thrust. Yeah, and both of them are playing Red Rebooted too. And then Moha's playing the Super Poly. We can come back to that. Apollo, USA. On the other hand, Baguska. Typhon. I feel like if you're making Typhon in this game, you've lost. Link 2 Codebreaker. Well, that's what this is for. There's a lot of Malice hate on the red reboot. It also stops Imperm. It also stops Void Hole or whatever it's called. Plasma Hole. No heavy. I don't think we need it. Dominus, yeah. The 1 Ixie Wolf, yeah. I only have 3,000 gems. This does include, like, Brilliant Fusion and stuff, but I do need more gems, chat. Which means, for the last hour, we're gonna have to play the Duelist Cup. I guess I've just been like... I've been playing this, so I'm more familiar with it. Oh, do we not have a free... Oh, we do have a free ticket. Hand them the ghouls. Kristrons. Yeah, I guess I could play Kristrons. That did not help in any meaningful way. I guess. Poll. What deck in Duelist Cup? What do you want to see, chat? I'll play whatever. You want to see more Glad Beast? See how they hold up? You want to go back to Mimighoul? Probably not the fastest way to grind gems, but it might be the funniest. Crystron? That's probably the strongest deck I've had of the last couple weeks, although I feel like it loses to a lot of the stuff that Malice loses to. Do we want to have a fourth? No. Arcana Force, I don't have it. Yeah, alternatively, I guess if you just want me to wail, I can. But you would have to wail first, chat. I guess we'll do, okay, so for the next, for the remainder of stream, any amount that you donate, or any amount of subs, I will spend that much in gems. Keep in mind with the subs, if you choose to sub, it's not going to be the amount you spend on subs, it's going to be the amount I get, which is $2.50 per sub. Why spend money when there's 2,000 gems you can get for no money? I mean, that's what I'm saying, but some people would rather just give me money. Some people would rather pay me to not play Yu-Gi-Oh! Understandable. Speaking of memes, Chad, I have no idea what I'm going to do for the Gladiator Beast intro. Do y'all have any ideas? Okay, Crystron winning by a large margin. Large marge. 60% almost. Hello, Demon King. Okay. I don't remember the exact combos. We'll just get one back from our banishment. Pardon me. Last chance to gaze upon me. ball! I guess we're balling today, chat. Yeah, I'm gonna let you do that. They are actually playing the sphere stuff. They're on a god deck. Vroom vroom! I don't have any generic links to link this off. Tribute summon one monster, and you can tribute summon monsters you control, but it cannot be... Okay. Thea, the primal being. I see. There is no applicable card in your hand. I mean, yeah, why not? Why take the damage if I don't have to, right? Smile. No, we don't want to. Yeah, we're fine. The problem is, if they're playing Thea, they probably play Nibiru too, right? And I really don't want to play into Nibiru. So let's just go in with this. 4 checks cast. 4 checks cast? You gotta capitalize that last word. I guess cast is a word. Either way, welcome Raiders with a party of 12. I hope you're doing well. I'm a Hardleg Joe, if you didn't know. Let's attack with this first. Cast is a word. It is. How did the beasts end? They did pretty well. I don't want to give spoilers for the people who don't want spoilers. Now we're just trying to grind gems for next month. The opponent was the Demon King, by the way. The Demon King plays Ra. Oh, what were you up to? I assume having some kind of cast, maybe between 4 check marks on Twitter. Play Super Poly in this deck? Isn't today Beast Day? No. Tuesday was the last one. Chat assured me this was the Malice event, chat, and so far, this is like the Silver event. Dark Magekin, the Dragon Knight. Alright, alright. Yeah, I think we special summon this first. Yeah, normal summon this. Ho-ho! Why did I do that? Oh, now I remember. Yeah, we go for the car, right? Special summon. I do have Zeus, don't I? Yeah, I don't know why I even put out the thing. I forgot I could do this. Bird. Hello. That is a nice lockdown you have there. Oh, this has to destroy a face-up. Oh. Well, I'm a little stupid, chat, but that's fine. Stupid people have long survived. I thought I could blow up the Zeus to see. This is a plain thing from a few months ago. Target 1, Crystron. No. No, I don't want to do that. Artemis. Warm sandwich makes brain go smooth. Another one. Okay. All right. Yeah, we do it this way. The problem is, this is unaffected by cards while this is on the field, and this can't be targeted while that's on the field. I was like, oh, I can just super poly it, and I cannot. We need we need to Quarian Gondrax this, and then before they bring it back, we hit it with the cluster. Which we can do. We just need to do, instead of what we normally do, we need to get these two. Then Quarion brings back the banished Tristeros. Oh, this is on the field. Okay. Oh, but how do we get rid of this first? We have to, like, crash it. Maybe they'll crash it themselves, chat. Okay. Do you have Legadia? I don't. Yeah, we're just doing this again. Yeah, that's fine. For a second, I was worried they'd get the thing that destroys all the back row. Imduk. Okay. SP. Verte. Yeah, I think we have to do this now to stop them. Yeah. I forgot how Citri works. Use the trap. I can't. It already moved over to them. Yeah, I done goofed that really bad. It's fine. Dragoon can be super polyed. Same attribute, but different types. Okay. Okay. Fuck you. I'm just doing this to shuffle the Citri back. It's perfect, chat. You'll just draw it. I was like, now I need to find a way to get to Citri. Okay. Battle phase. We crash this. Cluster. Blow up the Eternal Soul. What if they have 3 souls? Well, now I can negate it. Secret effect of inclusion. I thought I was just going to crash and then bring something back. But that works even better. Alright, that took a little bit harder than, longer than I expected. But we made it. Aquarian can steal stuff from both banished piles. I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, the Red Eyes fusion isn't properly fusion summoned, so you can't summon the Dragoon back. Look at all those gems. Look at all those chickens. Has the deck for next month been decided? Yes. We're playing Crystron again. I liked it so much the first time, I thought I'd eat it again. It is summoned properly off of Verte. Gotcha. Go, bird! Okay. Where's Chris Tron? I heard of John Tron, but no Chris Tron. I've heard of Chris Chan, but that's very different. Haha! You've been baited. Consider me the master baiter. No one baits harder than me. That's why they call me Hardleg. Sir? Sir? Pardon me. They're going for it? I don't think they are. I think they're just trying to draw cards so that they can have hand traps against me. Okay. I think we go Theistfern. Salvador. Oh, okay. Theistfern Takatomborg. Classic. Classic going second Crystron hand. Dun 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 dun. Ooh ma, ooh mama, ooh mama, ooh ma, ooh mama, ooh mama. Da 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 dum ba da dun dun ba da dun da 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 dum ba dum ba boom ba da dum. Well, we gotta hope they have no ash here, chat. It don't look like they got no ash. And then we do Solfefnir, and that way, in case they have the Dominus Impulse, they may use it on here. The Solfefnir. They got something. They're cooking something up, chat. I don't know what it is, but they're cooking. Gonna go pop pop. Watch them motherfuckers drop. Oh, watch them motherfuckers drop. Imperm. I knew it. I could smell it. Using that monster, including that monster. Okay. You also have Dominus Impulse. No? Okay. It's including that monster, which means if I get Citri, chat, I can make Tristeros with Citri and Sulfador. And then they negate nothing! And we can send the trap. And we can send, I guess Schmeiger. Schmeiger the Tiger. Oh, I needed to send another Tristeros. I just realized. Yeah, these are all tuners. Okay, chat. This is gonna be a weird flex, but it needs to be done. Tribute the Tristeros for the Lancia. Hey, yo. It can still be used from the field. Okay, that does stop things. Yeah, we use this. We get back the Citri. Oh, it's Nibiru and Dormouse, isn't it? No. Okay. They have some other third thing. Can't nib? Why is that? Impulse. Oh yeah, nib is light. It is before the end of the main phase. Oh yeah. And then I can grab the Lancia back, baby! And then, I'm not sure what happens, because you're supposed to synchro and then they're banished, but I can't banish. Okay, so it just goes to the graveyard. I was like, either they both just go to the graveyard, or the funnier option, the Lancia comes back and then can't resolve anything else. And therefore, it's... and therefore is just stuck on the field so I can use it again. What's your best deck? If you're talking about, like, what's the best deck I've played of all time, I think the one that got to master the fastest was the Snake Eyes one. But obviously, pieces of that have been hit, and since the format has changed, it's not as good. If you're asking what's the best, like, non-meta deck, I think it's a tie between Scareclaw and Generator. Those were both, like, rogue decks that got to master one pretty quickly with a high win rate. If you want to know what's my best deck right now, it's probably this Crystron one. Funnily enough, the best deck in terms of the current meta is probably the one I'm playing next month, actually. What's the best one that you know of? Well, right now the best deck is Malice. If you want to play, like, the best deck, that's where you go. Taka, taka, taka. Tomborg! That I know the ins and out of. Then Crystron. Ash. Okay. What's 2 level 3s? You can send 1 level 3. Okay, so I think the best thing is to summon this. Well, let me think. If I normal summon this, and I go for... No, this sends as cost, so they can't negate this. Yeah, they'd have to have, like, DD Crow or something, I think. So we make this, we send Theistvern. Because we've already got the Smiger. Remember the destruction protection. Thank you. Is stage 2 live? I don't think so. What can stop this? Yeah, and this is where we get Solfefnir. They had Maxi the whole time. Interesting. So you know what? We do go here. Hee hee, I can't be destroyed. I'm just getting my trap card. He remembered. I didn't remember. Someone in chat told me. Hopefully they didn't draw a second Ash. They did. Alright, well I've got one Pop and a Nibiru. We gotta hope that's enough. I mean, yeah, I can't allow you to get into that. Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is tricky. Was the deck decided? Yeah. It was decided a while ago. If you're, I guess you are new here. It is your first time chat. I usually only stream for 4 hours, and it's almost 4 hours, so it's like, yeah, we've decided by the end of the stream. Blue Eyes has no defense against Nib. Yeah, but I'm top decking in a really unfortunate situation. Yeah, I think we just do it here. Let's find a rock. I mean a big ass rock. Ah, you're a little too late. I thought he already used both his normal summons. Huh. He already had an extender. Oh, yeah. They don't have a trap in the graveyard, though, so they aren't getting anything back. They're just destroying the Nibiru. Now, if that's the trap... Just in time, Taka Tomborg! Yeah, I guess I have to try. It's not Majesty. Tyrant does get True Light back. I can't be banished. You have made a silly mistake. Yeah, I'll allow that. Okay. They don't control a normal or a level 5 or higher Primite. Oh! Their name is Super Lucky. Yep, and that's 7,000. I quit, but I get stuff if they attack it. And hopefully they won't waste time. Not doing White Lightning is criminal. That's our first loss. I forgot how that started again. Did I make a mistake? No, they played Max C. Now I remember. Okay. I was like, how did we lose to Blue Eyes again? I thought we had full combo. We did. They had Maxi. They had Maxi and 2 Ash Blossoms. So it was the Maxi minigame. Nothing else mattered. Well, This is a going second hand if ever I've seen one. And they're on Paleo or Labyrinth, it feels like. Oh! Argo Stars! Unfortunately, chat, I don't think we can beat Argo Stars with this hand. Fortunately, chat, it feels like they can't do anything either. 1. Yeah, I'll allow it. 2. Coolers. Make Invoker. They had the Dirt Spider. I don't know what they were waiting on, but they had it. Ouch. Okay, chat. This is what we call being a master baiter. Oh, that's exactly. Okay. They are not falling for my bait, chat. Oh, this is light. I thought this was Earth. I was like, these are both Earth. The hand trap or the main deck monsters are Earths. Touché, salesman. I think we still do this. Yeah. How do you protect your shit from criminals? Hire a samurai. Oh. Two of them things? Super Poly. Now that I know they have two Statue of Anguish patterns, I need to save the Super Poly for them. Wait, what? Face up. I was a fool, chat, and now I'm probably dead. Garua has to have two different names. Joe just learned face down. It's an effect that activates when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard. Usually that doesn't matter whether or not they're face up. If you destroy if a Burning Abyss is face down and it gets destroyed, it still activates its effect in the graveyard. Oh, well they didn't even have to wait. Yeah, you didn't have to, you could have activated that at any time. Do we have a face down Super Poly target? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, I also messed up. I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure what I could have summoned off of that. Hello, Takatom Borg. Well, sometimes this works. Yeah, your opponent's face down cards, like, Super Poly doesn't know what they are because they're face down. In general. Oh, you had the field spell anyway? Have you seen this movie, chat? Why is Link Decoder allowed to exist? Because the Master Duel devs are dumb. They're stupid. They're bad at the game. They don't know how to play. Two win perms, chat. They're gonna end with more cards than they started with. Just hope for the suit. The problem is, even if we get the Super Poly under that situation, they're still gonna have 5 or 6 cards in hand. Link ones are trouble every time. Clockwork Knight is fine so far. I'll take it, I guess. $290. How many more duels before I rank up? If I can get those 200 gems, I think I'll be fine. Two? Probably 2. Float away, Sanguine. Float away. I almost called him Kariba. It's like, hey, not every brown fuzzball is Kariba. I dislike that there's only the one song for this chat. You know what? If you're watching on YouTube, I think we're just gonna end it here. For those of you still here, watching live on Twitch, in perm the Lurie. Yeah, I'll ash that. Let's do a little karaoke. Like a karaoke stream, chat. It's a funny novelty, but I never get tired of doing it. Anyway, with that chat, I think I'm going to call it a stream. Thank you for coming on down. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I stream Yu-Gi-Oh! Every Tuesday and Thursday. Follow me for more of that. If you were like, hey, I kind of enjoyed this, but I missed it, where can I watch the VOD? Raw Hardleg is the name of the VOD channel. You can find that on YouTube by searching Raw Hardleg. That's R-A-W Hardleg. There's also Hardleg Gaming. That's the main channel. If you don't know, every month I climb the ladder with a different Master Duel deck, and then we compile it at the end of the month to one, like, all the best moments, to like a 2-hour, like, movie. So if you just want to see all the funny duels and all the yapping gets cut out, you can check out that. King BV putting, is that the channel? Huh. I thought it was like youtube.com/@rawhardleg. You can also see there my Silk Song playthrough, which is weird because there's episodes 1 through 4 and then 7. Because I messed up a little bit, but you know, the rest will be on there soon. I didn't want to upload a whole bunch of stuff at once. I've also got my audiobook, The Legend of Lefty, is on the main channel. You can watch part 1 right now, or I guess listen to it because it's an audiobook. Part 2 is coming soon. I've been working on it for the last, year, essentially. And I just got done recording it. It's being edited right now. I'll still probably have to do some retakes for some parts of it, but it's recorded. All the art is done. As soon as the editing is done and we've gone through it and cleaned it up and everything, it should be out. Very exciting stuff. Thanks to Lamp for the editing, yeah. Lamp, frequent collaborator. If you don't know, they are one of the lead people of Surprise Round RPG. Tell your friends. It's a Twitch channel that does tabletop games. They also have, pardon me, a YouTube channel. They don't keep up with it as well, but if you want to see the show that I'm on, Death Market Rebellion, the first 2 episodes of that are over up on Surprise Round RPG. So if you want to see what I act like in a tabletop RPG, consider checking that out. More episodes to come. And if you really like that, the other shows on there are pretty good. I enjoy Branch 17. It's kind of like Repo, or I can never remember the other one. I want to say Cruelty Squad, but that's not it. The one where you're Lethal Company. It's like Lethal Company or Repo, but as like an RPG. Yeah. It's like 4 criminals are being not forced, but they're like, you could serve out like a life sentence, or you could, help us recover stuff from derelict space stations. Oh, I'm on a delay. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. They've also got the full playthrough of Red Stitch Report, which was the first game I was there on. I guess a lot of people really liked that one. I felt like my performance was terrible. I'm still kind of getting used to this whole RPG in front of people thing. But it's a lot of fun. So there's so much stuff. There's so many projects and everything, chat. If you like Hardleg, there's so much. And I mean, if you are really invested in the Hardleg project and for some reason you're not on the Patreon, $1 a month would help. For now, I'm going to get going. Looks like we are the number 2 Master Duel streamer. I'll take it. Considering we lost like 30 people during the end phase, I think that's fine. Who are we rating today?